Hey guys, and welcome to the CFC Chat channel. I'm your host Ameya, and this is the all-important preview for the FA Cup final. Now, we don't have fond memories of it from last season. The lesser we talk about that, the better, especially considering we faced the same team midweek. The lesser we talk about that, the better for now. But to help me preview this game, we have the usual guest, Akash. Of course, how are you doing, Akash? I think this is the first non-UCL game.
Yep. Let's see if the juju holds true for other competitions as well. I'm hoping it does.
Let's
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm keeping up as well. And now we have Snigdha, who's going to be joining us for the first time on this channel. I have seen that you have, I think, done a couple of videos like this. I remember you sharing a link or something, but it's the first time on this channel. How are you feeling, Snigdha?
I'm feeling nice. I mean, obviously this is the first time with you, but still, it's about Chelsea and we can talk about Chelsea all day anyways, right? So let's do this.
Exactly. We could talk about Chelsea all day, and that's what we're looking to accomplish here now. Let's get straight into the issue at hand. I mean, I know earlier I said that we're going to try and speak as less about it as we can, but that Arsenal game, I mean, where do we start?
But we have to start from there, right? Because that was a blunder and we got to start from there so that what not to repeat in this match.
Absolutely. So I'll start with you, Snigdha. How did you react to the game? Because I was like sort of fuming, but at the same time, we have bigger games coming up. I don't know. I was a bit torn personally.
To be honest, everyone is behind my back because I already said we might lose this. And my reason was, however much we try, we are at the end of the day human beings, right? And the stress and fatigue of all the big games before this match was really high. So as you can also see from Mount, he really tried in the first half, but then you could see the fatigue somewhere and no one was giving their 100%. So I was expecting us to lose, and I also wanted to get, because one loss was coming our way either ways, right? I just wanted to get it over with so that we win the FA Cup and we win the Champions League trophy. I didn't want this exact blunder, right? We are Chelsea. We make this blunder somewhere or the other along the way. So I did not want this to happen in our cups. And, we got ourselves, everyone can get themselves complacent, right? You know what I'm trying to say. So it's good that we lost. Now we have to, not repeat those mistakes. Now Tuchel knows, okay, this team needs a little bit more psychological training as well, how to win games like these. Yep. So I think it was, I'm not as concerned because I just want us to win the major trophies which are coming up. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think I completely agree with you there. I knew a loss was coming, right? Which is why when we scored the winner against Man City, I wasn't happy with joy. I was simply laughing like a madman. That's what I was doing. Because
how did that happen? I wasn't expecting that, but okay. So It seems like we are becoming a strong team, but apparently not.
And now I'll go to you, Akash. You, of course, raised this issue when we were discussing earlier as well. The issue of finishing. How much did that cost us, apart from the obvious glaring mistake from a particular individual?
Yep. So, like Snigdha pointed out, right? If there was a good game to lose, so to speak, this was probably it. We didn't crash out of the top four, and it's still in our hands, sort of. So, Liverpool, if they win the next game, they go level on points with us, right?
I think 1 point below us.
1 point below us. West Ham is still sort of struggling to, string results together. So if we were to lose again, this is probably the best one. And our finishing being bad isn't exactly a new issue, right? It's been a feature throughout the season, and what Tuchel has done it since he's come in has given us a defensive structure to base our attempts off of. So if we have issues converting low XG chances or in general creating good quality chances throughout a match, our defensive structure accounts for it. We don't need to create 20 chances to score one now or to win matches. So if you look at it right now, our bad finishing hasn't cost us in terms of league position or any trophies, but let's hope we're at least focusing some of our efforts in training onto that instinct has to kick in. Kai missed an amazing chance. Mason shot straight into that should have been a penalty for sure, but referee, what can we do? So there are things that obviously the squad needs to fix, and I'm sure Tuchel is aware of that, and I'm sure there are processes in place to check those before the final on versus Leicester. So let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Now, you did mention the top four. So right before we get on to the Leicester game, I'll go to you first, Akash, on this. Do you think Chelsea is going to finish in the top four? And if you do, who do you think is going to be the team with us?
My prestige depends on it, man. I've bet with so many people that we're finishing in the top four. So. And I think we will still. So we have 2 matches left, right? One is versus Leicester, one is versus Aston Villa.
Yeah.
The Leicester game will be a hard one for sure, considering they're also fighting for roughly the same things that we are. But I think our squad just has a little bit of edge in terms of quality. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that we pinch a 2-0 or a 1-0 win there, whatever matters. And Aston Villa aren't the same force that they were at the beginning of the season. So I'm being an optimistic Chelsea fan. I hope we win both, and I hope we finish in the top 4.
All right. I hope we do. Now I'll pose the same question to you, Snigdha, as well. Do you think that we're going to finish in the top 4? And I'll ask you a sort of sub question as well. How important do you think the FA Cup final and the Premier League game is going to be? Because it's the same opponent, right? So how do you see the result tomorrow impacting how they face us on Tuesday, basically?
So as Akash said, we are facing the same team, and they are also playing for the similar reasons, right? But obviously they are also going to be the same amount of tired as we are after facing us. Exactly. So it all depends on that day. The factors which are present in that moment that can win or lose us the game, right? Even against Arsenal, we would have won or at least drawn if we would have finished those chances. Mm-hmm. So the point is, we need to, not do as many offside goals as possible. We are creating those chances. We are just not finishing it. If we finish every chance that we get, we are probably going to win by 4 or 5 goal margins in last few games, if you just see the last few games. So I think it's about factors present on those particular days, not about, we can evaluate all we want, but let's see what happens in those conditions.
Yeah, let's see what happens, and hopefully we do fix up in training. Now, talking about training, right before we started recording this, Nizar, the journalist, reputed journalist, of course, has just tweeted that Kante, Kovacic and Christensen were all part of the training today, and I think Rudiger probably will be as well. I think he was just rested against Arsenal, hopefully. So I'll go to you first on this, Snigdha. Now, Jorginho made a very costly mistake. I mean, there was a bit of blame on Zuba and all of that being circulated on Twitter. Let's not get into that. But do you think Jorginho starts this game? I mean, Kovacic, of course, keep in mind that Kovacic has been out for some time. Do you see Tuchel just suddenly dropping him into an FA Cup final? Or do you see Jorginho probably starting this one?
I don't think so. I think Tuchel will go with Jorginho and Kante, because he mentioned that after the post-match, in the post-match interview, he said that he did a mistake by changing the team too much, right? So I think he would probably go with the classic team this time. He wouldn't do that mistake. Apart from, I think he would be starting Kepa again, and he wouldn't be dropping Jorginho as well. So, and most of the days, Jorginho, he holds the midfield pretty fine, but I don't know what happened to him. This was such a silly mistake that you can't even blame the player for being, just, I don't know, that he doesn't know ball. You can't blame that. I mean, this was just a silly mistake, happens once in a blue moon. Obviously, it's not going to happen again. So I think he would be playing, and he could be important in holding our midfield.
Yeah, hopefully he does live up to his game this time. Now, Akash, do let us know your thoughts on that. And I think you can follow that up with your predicted lineup as well. And then we'll go to you, Snigdha, for you to give us your predicted lineup.
Cool. So again, I'm betting on Kante and Jorginho being the pairing in midfield. So one mistake doesn't take away from his qualities, right? But it also, I think a lot of us got carried away with all the negativity that was there on the TL, because mistakes like this happen. It happens to every player. It's happened to even John Terry, Frank Lampard, and Drogba gave away the penalty in the Champions League final, if you remember. And if they'd scored, think of how people would be, how people would think of him now. So mistakes happen, and it's important for us to acknowledge that they're human beings. And in high pressure situations, this sort of stuff happens. And I'm pretty sure Tuchel trusts Jorginho implicitly. He's going to start for sure. Kovacic has been out for a while, and expecting him to be in rhythm, have that match sharpness as soon as he comes in, is not realistic. So I think he'll come on off the bench if if we have a lead and we need to consolidate things. He gives us that bit of, if we're under pressure, he can carry the ball out of a press, he can bring others into play. So he has those qualities, and I think him off the bench versus a tiring midfield and defense is probably our best bet on the weekend. And if you look at our predicted lineup, I think I was hoping Mendy would start, because obviously you want to start your best 11 there, right? But I know Snigdha's a huge Kepa fan, sorry, but I'm just saying. So I just believe the best 11 should start. I just think the best 11 should start on the day, and I think Mendy has more than proved that he's our number one keeper over the course of the season. So Mendy in goal, Aspi, Thiago Silva and Rudiger. I'm hoping Rudiger starts because Zuma in the middle of the defense is better than Zuma out on the left. He's a very neat tackler. He can pass the ball decent from the center, but he can't progress it well from the left centre back position. Rudiger is our best left centre back by far, and I'm hoping he starts, even if it's with the Musk. And we have Kante, Jorginho in midfield, Chilwell and Reece as the wing backs. And our front three should ideally be Ziyech, Mount and Werner. So Ziyech, in the limited time that he got onto the pitch, at least he was trying to make something happen, as in he was trying to clip those balls beyond their fullback. He was trying to at least pull something out of nothing, and I think we will probably need that against Leicester. They're probably going to play a 3 in behind. Fofana, Soyuncu and Evans will probably start. So there's going to be limited space in behind, and I think Hakim's quality of final pass will be a huge factor in the match. So that's my thoughts. Curious to see what you guys think. So.
Yeah, I'll go to you, Snigdha, before I let my own thoughts. Before I tell my own thoughts, basically, I'll let you go on with it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm predicting this lineup based on the fact that Tuchel said he would start Kepa, right? Because this was the practice match. So Kepa would obviously start, and then I think Aspi, Silva, Rudy and Reece James would start, along with Jorgi Kante midfield, and Chilwell, Mount, Werner and
Havertz. All right. So interesting.
Yes.
Not
to change the lineup too much. And Werner had got rest in the midfield game, so I think all of us were missing Werner in the last game, even apart from his offside blunders. So,
his movement, I think, is such an asset in attack, so which is why we were missing him. But I think for this one, I'm really sorry, Snigdha, but I think I'm going to side with Akash on this one. I'm going to go with the exact lineup that Akash mentioned, in fact, and hopefully we do get to... So
let's remember this lineup for when the lineup is released. Who got it most right.
Absolutely. But anyway, now let's move on to the important part of the game, which is going to be the key battles, as we like to call it. I'll go to you, Akash, first, if that's fine. Who do you see being, the troublemaker for Leicester, basically, because obviously they do have a lot of players. They have Nacho, Vardy, Maddison. Their midfield is solid as well, and you mentioned their 3 centre backs is good as well. So where do you see the most threat coming to our defense, especially from Leicester?
Tielemans, amazing player.
He is classy so underrated, isn't he?
Yeah, so if you look at those balls that he plays in behind, right, on the money every single time, and that I think that's something that our players miss. You see Timo, he makes that run behind almost every single time. Every single time our midfield has the ball, you see him spinning and making that run off the shoulder of the defender. But we don't spot it. We don't play that ball in often enough. Georgie tries, but it comes off like once every 3 times, or maybe less. I'm being kind on him maybe. And their midfield there has a good balance about it. They've struggled in the past few weeks, but there is still a very good mix of NDD being the destroyer, and then you have Madison, carrying the ball and being creative, and Tielemans sort of being the link between these. So, very good player, and I think Kante has to be at the top of his game to sort of plug those passing lanes and make sure that he's not effective.
Spot on. Very, very good
their
shout
defense
there.
again, back 3. Yeah, and their back 3 again is solid. Fofana, very young but very good player, very neat on the ball, good passer. Evans is experienced. So Yunchu is sort of, at the start of the season, I wanted us to sign him. He sort of typified that guy who would be effective in a back 4, but his performance has sort of dropped off last few months, but still a very good player. So let's see. Hopefully we have enough firepower in our ranks to put a couple past them.
Hopefully we do. Now I'll go to you, Snigdha. What do you think on what Akash said, and where do you see our major threat to Leicester coming from as well?
So I agree with Akash on this. On this, I agree that Iheanacho would be a threat, right? And he is peaking right now, as you can say. So he would obviously, and then Vardy, I think this would be the time that he would score. And then if you remember in the last game against us, NDD and Madison scored against us. So I would think if they are starting, they could also pose a threat. But then it was under Frank Lampard. So let's see what happens this time. And I think from our side, it would be the midfield, right? Kante and Jorginho, they have to dominate the midfield in order to stop them. And I think they would play very key roles. And Kante have got the required rest, hopefully, and he would be fit enough to, take us through the FA Cup.
Hopefully. He's struggling with an injury now, right? Kante, I think he has an Achilles injury. But even a half-fit Kante is world-class. So,
yeah, but he has been seen training, as we could, make out from that tweet.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's that.
Hopefully he is up to it against his former side. And hopefully we don't fall at the hurdle where we fell last season. It was a whole range of emotions last season because of a certain ball referee and that, but we'll not include that in this conversation.
Fuck that ball referee.
Now we will.
But if you go with the facts, then the fact is that Leicester hasn't won FA Cup, right? So since I think 1969, no, they haven't ever won it. They have appeared for FA Cup final in 1969. That was last. So according to those statistics, we have a good chance. But
There's another stat actually. There's another stat. So the last time we went back-to-back FA Cup finals, we won 16-17. We lost to Arsenal, and next year we played and we won versus United. So,
yep,
the omens look good for us there. So,
fingers crossed. Superstitions are aplenty this season, aren't they? Especially with our Champions League campaign. But
you keep seeing those tweets popping up that this happened in 2012. So there's a good chance we are going to win this time as well.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. I keep crossing my fingers every time someone mentions it. But this is now the end of the video. And before we do let you guys go, I'll go to you this time, Snigdha, first. Your prediction, your match prediction. What do you think the scoreline is going to be? And you can include the scorers too, if you're very confident about it.
So I think Havertz and Werner are going to score, and it is going to be 2-1.
Wow. Okay, so you are predicting us to win the FA Cup this time.
Of course. How can I not?
Of course. And now, Akash, your prediction as well?
Yeah, I'm going with a 2-0 win. I think Mason Mount goal and a Jorginho penalty.
Keeping in mind Kepa is at the goal, you're still rooting for us to have a clean sheet, Akash.
Yep, it's not like I don't like Kepa. He's a good keeper, but best player should ideally start. So, and I think Kepa will pull off a couple of blinder saves this match, and yeah.
Hopefully, because
Okay.
Let's hope the TL goes crazy.
yeah, because I mean, I was just looking up, right? The 5 previous starts of Kepa under Tuchel all have resulted in clean sheets.
Yes.
So,
Exactly.
so hopefully he gets another one tomorrow. He didn't get one midweek, but hopefully he gets one tomorrow.
He will for sure.
Let me go for let's go for a 1-0 win. I'm gonna go. You know what? I mean, this sounds a bit crazy, but then the FA Cup account, official account, tweeted, your birthday and then the month, and then that's who's gonna score and how. And then I got Mason Mount 30-yard screamer, so I'm gonna go for Mason Mount to score a 30-yard screamer and to get us a 1-0 win, and hopefully we do lift the FA Cup this time around. But anyway, that's been our video, guys. Right before we let our guests go, Snigdha, how was your first experience?
It was really nice. Excellent. And I have got it all out of my system now till tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Let's get that win, much needed win.
Let's get our hands on a trophy. We haven't got one for a couple of seasons now. Akash, any last closing words?
Under the shell. It would be special.
Yep,
Right.
definitely would be special as well. Any last words, Akash? Of course, you're going to be back for the Champions League final preview as well, continuing the tutu. But any last words?
Sure thing, yeah. No, man, it's been a very up and down season. There's been emotional highs and lows, and I hope we end with a high. So all in for the win.
Yeah, all in for the win. Now, on that auspicious note, let's end this video here, guys. As always, if you do like this, remember to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below on how you think Leicester are probably going to line up, how you think if we're going to beat them, and then you can let us know how you're going to celebrate Tuchel's first trophy. Does he get his hands on it as well? But until next time, see you guys.